Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett just went into a spiel on CNN after she was asked if violence is worse on the left than on the right. Let's have the clip right here.
Do you think the political violence problem on the right is worse than what it is on the left?
I think it's a false comparison in the first place, and I think we should have a leader that is responsible enough to denounce political violence, period. It's not about where it comes from. It's about the fact that it is happening. It is never okay. It is never okay if it happens on the left. It is never okay if it happens on the right. And if we had someone that knew how to be an adult in the room, he would say that. But when we look at it, please tell me who is fostering this gun culture, right? I mean, the reality is that the average person on the left probably couldn't make a shot from 200 yards because they haven't been playing with assault rifles since they were a little kid. Like, that is just the reality of how people on the left typically work. And if we believe that political violence is a problem in this country, if we believe that our children on campuses, just because they want to go out and have a day of free speech on campus, may be subjected to this kind of violence, then maybe we need to start talking about legislation that will keep these types of weapons out of certain people's hands. Now, whether or not this gentleman would have qualified under any type of laws that many of the Democrats have proposed, I don't know. But the reality is that they typically want to say it's somebody with a mental health problem. Well, maybe red flag laws would be helpful in those circumstances. The reality is that we are elected to, at a very minimum, try to do mitigation and try to make sure that everyone, whether they are left, right, in the middle, or non-affiliated, can express their views without this idea that they may be subjected to violence, which a lot of it could actually be prevented.
All right, Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your perspective.
I think gun violence, political violence is rampant just because of those who come up and fuel it. And among the supporter, among the fueler, those who really drive this political violence, gun violence, is this Jasmine Crockett. She said 80% of the most violent crimes in our country are the white supremacy. Let's watch this clip right here.
And if you really want to know who the criminals are in this country, you can Google it. You don't have to trust me. But the people that commit 80% of the most violent crimes in this country are white supremacists. Yet for whatever reason, they sit and they serve at the pleasure of the president. They are the ones that were there on January 6th, tearing our democracy down physically. And now we have them tearing us down right here from within.
These people with such IQ, and that's why President Trump called her a low IQ. Such people are really killing this country. She's a Democrat, and whoever called it a false claim that Jasmine Crockett didn't say fascist and Nazis. Here's the video. Let's watch it.
Right now, what they are trying to do is institute Nazism 2.0 in the United States. And guess what? It's going to be us that's going to be on the receiving end of all of it. So I can go on and on and on about the terrible things that are in there. But the basis of it, they're saying it has to be Christianity. And the fact is, everything has to be really Christo-fascism. And so what they're trying to do is say, if you're not doing it our way, then you can't do it.
You know, Democrats are continuing to deny their violent rhetoric, but their own words tell the truth. Here, let's have this clip from...
Me disagreeing with you, me calling you, you know, I want to be Hitler, all those things are like not necessarily saying go out and hurt somebody. But when you're literally telling people at rallies, yeah, beat them up and that kind of stuff, like you are promoting like a culture of violence.
And I'm sorry, but instead, we are not only going to punch you back, but we are going to knock you out. I think that you punch. I think you punch. It's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard.
Punch, knock you out. What does that mean? It's violence. But they say they are not promoting it. They are not the one behind it. But in their words, that's what they preach. That's what they say every day. That's what they tell us. That's why they pump into our heads. So they are the ones really engineering all this violence you are seeing. Now, there is this clip from Jasmine Crockett. Let's first watch it.
I want y'all to know that every day that I walk in those halls, regardless of whatever rhetoric they put out about me, I am a very serious lawmaker. At the same time, if you try me, you will find out. I just want to be clear about that, because I am truly a black woman at the same time.
If you try me, you'll find out. That's violence. That only statement means violence. Those are the people we're living in. Those are the people we live with, we stay with, we move with. They only preach violence. Only that. Now, there is this clip from MSNBC. Tells their viewers everyone needs to pick up a weapon and get involved. Jasmine Crockett was seen accepting it, really appreciating it. Let's just watch the clip here.
But this is a war. This isn't a battle. And we absolutely will win this war.
It is a war. It is indeed a war. And I have to say, they have won some battles, Jasmine, but we have to keep our eye on the war, and everybody needs to pick up a weapon and get involved, because this is for the safety and lasting of the country.
Everyone needs to pick up a weapon and do what with that weapon? These are the people who celebrate those who are killed, who celebrate those who are murdered, who celebrate the death of somebody. These are the real people we have here. There is this message for Jasmine Crockett. Let's first get it, this script right here.
Imagine for a second that you were a sitting United States congressman and you put out a tweet that looks a lot like this at such a time. Free speech clearly isn't free for everyone. Jasmine Crockett, a sitting United States congressman, sitting on the Congress of the floor of the United States. She is the one that is in charge of making laws and making legislation and changing your life. Imagine for a second you're a United States congressman and you don't have the first clue on how the frickin' Constitution works. Free speech only protects you from being arrested or charged for the things that you say. You could argue threats, right? People have been arrested for threats that they've posted on the internet, but that's pretty hard to prove. But free speech and the Constitution does not cover you from getting fired from Starbucks when you put out a heartless, soulless, dumbass video celebrating the death of anybody, specifically a political assassination. Imagine for a second you're a congressman and you don't know that. Isn't part of your job to know, at the very least, have a very basic understanding of the United States Constitution? Is this the fucking standard that we have for the people that are representing us? I get pretty fired up with Congress most of the time, a lot of the time with the grandstanding and the influencing. I get pretty worked up, but I had no idea that you could be this ignorant. Young lady, take this down. It's embarrassing. You, of all people, should know this, okay? I don't blame the little peons out here on TikTok complaining about losing their jobs and their freedom of... I don't blame them, because they probably don't at least comprehend what that amendment is, okay? I can't blame them. They don't work for the government. It's not their job to know. But it is your job, Jasmine Crockett, to know, to understand, to comprehend. These are the people that are making the decisions that impact your every single day life. Your livelihoods, whether or not you can put food on the table, how that's going to work, how much it's going to cost, what you can be arrested for, what you can't be arrested for. These people. Jasmine Crockett. Good fucking Lord, we're doomed.
These are the leaders we have. They only think what is in their mind, what is in their heads is violence. Only that. Shoot to kill people. That makes them happy. Okay,